What's up, guys? I'm Zach, and I'll be over here. Today, we're going to be talking to Brent Trayce Sands. As you can see over there, he is the creator of this comic book character, Impound. He's got a Kickstarter going on right now. If you Google Kickstarter Impound Origins, it's come up for me every time. Anyway, he lives out in California. Started this Kickstarter to get this comic book off the ground, and I gotta say, it looks pretty promising. It looks really neat. Come with me now as we watch the trailer for his Kickstarter. So that's looking pretty sweet. That's looking pretty cool. It's like some elements of Spawn, like a little bit of Street Fighter, some kind of... I don't know if y'all remember the show Mantis, where the guy was like crippled from the waist down, but he built a suit that gave him the power to walk and go out and beat ass. That's what the suit looks like to me. But that's like... most people, I mean, I'm sure you guys are like, what the hell are you talking about? It's Mantis, but it's like a, what do you call the thing? What do you call the thing with all the periods? Is it an acronym? Acronym, abbreviation for, yeah, so it's... yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah, look at that. Go see if you can dig up some episodes of that. It was pretty cool. It was like a superhero X-Files kind of thing. Way back in the day. I'm sure it hasn't aged well. Anyway, whew, man, did I go off on a tangent? Or what? Let's get this guy on the phone. Okay. Boop. Boop.
Call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 91650566638 is not available.
Artists, man. Artists. Tried to call Gilbert. First time that happened. Oh, speak of the devil. Oop, here we go. We got him. Mr. Sands, how are you doing?
I'm going good. How are you?
I'm doing great. What are you up to this evening?
Oh man, I'm at a recording studio. I had to step outside real quick. It was loud when you
Oh,
called
that's pretty cool. Yeah, I saw that on your Instagram, I guess it was the other day. You on the boat with the ladies? I was like,
Yeah,
uh-oh.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
got a
Trying to
superstar thing
outdo
going on.
it.
That's real cool, man. But,
I didn't mean to post that on the impound one, and then I just was like, all right, whatever.
yeah, whatever. Hey, I mean, I was just more intrigued than anything else. Like, comic books and this are
Yeah,
related.
yeah,
I'm gonna have to
right.
get some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on, man? How you doing, though?
Oh, pretty good. I just before I called you, I was showing your Kickstarter video,
Uh-huh.
and man, that is a pretty gnarly video. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It's,
appreciate it, man.
and I
I have
did,
like two more I haven't posted that are like it, but that was my favorite one, so that's why I put it on
yeah, it
Kickstarter.
was real solid. The effects and everything were real nice.
Appreciate it, appreciate it.
I saw that you do have a background in film. You went to film school. Is that right?
Oh yeah, so I went to Sac State, and then I was in the film program. So I have a degree in film, so a BA in film, and then my minor was creative writing.
Oh wow, that's really cool, man. It sounds like you've got all the tools you need there.
Right, to get that together.
Yeah.
It just, one second, boss. 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, sorry about that, bro.
Not a problem.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
can all come out with editing. It's not a problem.
Right. But yeah, yeah. Someone was asking me for directions somewhere, so I just told them real quick.
Oh, no problem.
What was the last thing we said? I know I ended up saying a minor in creative writing.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, man, you've definitely got all the tools you need to get, especially to get this comic book thing going. Was there a portion of that program that also involved what software do you use for all of your drawing anyway?
So me, I'm not an illustrator. So my friend is who's illustrating it. I thought of all the characters. I wrote all their backstories. I'm the writer and the creator. I'm not
Gotcha.
the illustrator.
Okay, very, very interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've got a whole team already lined up for all of this and ready to go.
I have a small team, but I'm still looking for people to add to it. So, but as far as the illustration part, there's two different illustrators. So, the person who is writing most of the content I post on Instagram, which are more like posters,
Mm-hmm.
that's someone different than who's actually writing the comic book itself, or not writing, illustrating the comic book itself.
Okay.
Because I basically wanted both of those happening at the same time, so I can promote while the comic book is still being, you know what I mean, in its development stages.
Oh, for sure. And you one's like your splash page guy, more or less, and then the issue illustrator. I see. Very cool.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, what software do they use? Do you know? Are these?
I honestly do not know. I can ask them real quick, but
No,
I
it's-
don't know where I got the timer right now.
It's not a big
But-
deal. I just had that locked in my head as like, oh, I'm gonna ask that question, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep asking it anyway.
And I can't even answer.
That's not a problem. But that's even
Yeah,
better actually, because I wanted to know: is it hush hush the origin? Are you trying to keep that on lock until the release of the series?
I definitely am.
Okay.
There's things I'm willing to tell. The reason why he becomes who he is that's like the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like I have been like going out of my way to intentionally not give that part away because it's super powerful. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So it's not something I wanted to be known until I wanted to, when the reader reads it, it just like, oh my god.
Yeah. Just
know what I
almost
mean?
drop the book.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I'm inspired by a lot of different things, and I think the one story that probably inspired me the most, in my writing at least, is Game of Thrones. And
Okay.
so my stories this is nothing like Game of Thrones, but you're gonna get slapped in the face with heart crunching things that you didn't see coming.
Gotcha.
I no like it's kind of a world where no one's safe, no one and you're not gonna necessarily be able to just predict it on how a typical hero would a story would be. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, I've been going out my way to keep that a secret.
Very cool. I respect that. I was like, I'm not gonna push if that's the thing.
Right.
Man, I can't wait to get those
So
issues. That's for sure.
That's the main question that people ask me is, why? How does he get his power? And other comic writers are like, yeah, just explain it. You know what I mean? Just tell them. And it's like, man, I don't want to tell them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
As soon as the first issue's out, I'll say it all day, even if you haven't read it. But
Yeah, right on.
I just want to do that.
And I saw the game as well that y'all are kind of starting to work on.
Yeah.
Y'all are just. When did you decide that you were just gonna grab all this by the horns and just go after it? Because this is a pretty big undertaking.
I guess really when I ended up being able to find some backing for it, financial backing. That's the biggest challenge anyone has. With any new project. I've written books, I've written movie scripts, and I just kind of shelf them. You know what I mean? I look at it like one day I'm gonna do it if I can get the right situation or the right budget. You know what I mean? I'm not a person that wants to force anything. If I can't do it right, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
And it was just right. I found the right people to help me, and it was just right. I've had the impound idea for several years before I was ever actually able to tackle it. And timing is just everything.
Are the artists that you're working with local to you, or are they people that you met online that were interested in helping?
Met online.
Really? Very cool.
I talked to them on the phone. Never seen them. I imagine the day where I'll be able to fly him in and have this big impound party because it's so
Put him on the boat.
But, yeah. Right. Right. You know what I mean? But no, I know what they look like if I was to see them. Obviously, we've done Zoom calls and stuff like that, but
right.
Never met them in person. One lives in the Philippines and one lives in India.
Wow, that's really neat. I can now that I'm thinking about some of the character designs and stuff, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
There's subtle differences, I think more of how we were saying, one of the illustrators who does more of the splash, he kind of has more of a natural anime style.
Right.
I don't know what I would call necessarily the style of my comic book. It's more Americanized though, you know what I mean? It's more Static Shock type of art.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Versus, I don't really want the book itself to look like anime, but maybe some off stories. You know what I mean? Certain characters, but kind of like the American style art, if that makes sense.
No, I got you, and it does. It kind of walks that line. It's not quite one or the other. It has a little bit of both, which is not bad. That's
right.
But because I kind of agree with you. I just feel like the anime. There's just so much of it.
Yeah.
that
right.
You just kind of get caught up in something. The rest of it, you'll get lost in the rest of it if it's too much towards that.
Too much. It's too competitive. I feel like almost. You know what I mean? And one stays on top for years, and it's just, I don't know. That's not really the route I wanted to go. But then when I first started the Impound Instagram, I looked at Spider-Man's Instagram, and its art styles are all over the place. Some is fat art. Some is when he's a kid, some is anime looking, some isn't. And I just was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean?
You can do anything, apparently.
Yeah, let's just decorate it up. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's Miles with his Jordan 1s on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With pretty different looking Peter Parker. So it's that's just pretty much. I just started making it fun, man. I made, as you see, I drew a whole baby impound.
Oh yeah,
just something for fun. Yeah, I have one with impounds in a bath, like a robe with Balenciaga shoes on, drinking tequila. You know what I mean? It's just, I just wanted to make it fun on top of I don't know.
And I think
I just wanted to be different.
I think in people's minds too, doing a series of different ones like that, it kind of further ingrains in their head like this is a legit character. Like he's
Right.
he's out there in the world doing things. So like
Right. It makes the world look bigger.
yeah, exactly. Or more tangible, I guess.
And that's right. More, and it's more believable. It's almost, and I think it has it. I almost wanted it to be when people find the Instagram and look at it and they're like, "This only has 4,000 followers." Like, I would have thought a page like this would all, you know what I mean? Like, the art is bigger than the page.
You say only 4,000, but that's a. I'm over here like, right. Like say double digits maybe. Like I haven't looked at it in a while.
That's what I was saying, man. When I do stuff, man, the goal, I put a big projection over my head of what is, you know what I mean? What is, I don't know. I just wanted to always be the best. I know 4,000 is good. I know a lot of people would love to have that, but for me, the picture is just bigger. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Right. I want him to be invited to be in a Mortal Kombat game one day.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That would be cool. He'd fit right in.
Yeah. And it's like stuff like that is already what I'm thinking towards. You know what I mean? But there's obviously the due diligence and the journey you have to take first.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and that's what it's at right now.
Well, what are some of his powers?
Impound power, obviously, his biggest one is laser vision.
Okay.
His other power that I'm going to start focusing more on displaying. He's also telepathic.
Oh, okay.
But not telepathic like he can just pick up cars. He's not anywhere as telepathic as Jean Grey or like Professor X, but he's, I would say, a Jedi, where he can push and pull things that are smaller. You know what I mean? He can knock you off your feet really quick, but he's not like crumbling buildings or anything like that. It's not to that degree.
Sure.
Other than that, flight and super strength.
Okay, excellent. Nice and round. He's got a little bit of everything.
Right, and then to add to the fact that he already has a full fighting style of being
that's right.
MMA fighter. You know, so he actually knows how to fight. He's not just a guy who got his powers and, you know,
just fumbling around punching things.
Yeah. right. You know, so he already has those instincts.
Sorry, I spaced out for a second. I was staring into the picture of Impound that I have on my screen, and I got lost in the bright green visor.
It's all good.
Oh, sucking me in with that telekinesis, man.
Yeah, right. Got hypnotized.
Well, right on. I definitely wanted to promote your Kickstarter and all of that, which I was saying at the beginning. I've just been Googling Kickstarter Impound origin, and it's come up for me every time because
cool.
I could sit here and type it out. Actually, I could just
right.
I could do this number. Well, it doesn't matter. People won't be able to click on it or anything anyway.
Yeah.
But man, so looks like you're having a good time on your days off. Is there a 9 to 5 that you keep other than this, or is this your?
No, I don't. I don't have a 9 to 5. I'm full entrepreneur. So what's paying all my bills is I own a record label. So I have a record label in LA, and I have some pretty decently big artists. You know, that was part of that. People don't see it maybe because it's two different worlds, but a part of the quick growth of Impound is I'm having all my artists post them.
I see. Very cool.
Yeah. So I have I got 2 artists that's have songs with millions of views on them. You know what I mean? And the one thing that's cool that unless you're from Sacramento or know the artist, you will never notice is when I have Impound in regular clothes and stuff, he's usually wearing one of my artists' merch.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I hadn't known that.
Yeah. It's like, unless you're the fan of that artist, you wouldn't even get that. But like, the people who know that when they see it, they're like, oh, wow, he's wearing this. He's wearing his clothes. That's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
But what's one of your artists that I can look up?
One of them, his name is Marmar Oso. That's MARMAR space OSO. And he's a pop singer. Another one, his name is TJ3K. So
Holy
it's
crap!
T
This guy
T.
Marmar Oso's
Yeah,
already got an animated video and stuff, man. Like he's
right.
doing fantastic.
Yeah, he has a song called "Ruthless" that we just got told is gonna go gold next month.
There it is, Marmar Oso. Nice guys always finish last.
Yeah, that's the song. That's his
Very
biggest record.
cool, man. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I had no idea about this. I'd only seen
Two
your
different
comic book
worlds. You
stuff.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
very cool.
And just one of the things that's one of the reasons why I decided not to delete the boat stuff and all this stuff is it's like
Yeah,
that's the one thing that I at least I know I have over a lot of people, and I don't mean like just the record level side is I think I can bring pop culture and comic culture closer, you know what I mean, than it's been like because it's literally the two things I love. I love rap of all genres, gangster rap, regular, you know what I mean,
sure.
motivational rap, and I love comic books. You know what I mean? So it's like these are the two things I care about the most, and I want to bring them together. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have my art when I eventually get animated movies. All my artists are gonna be on the soundtrack, and kind of just I don't know. I just feel like it makes it more authentic. I feel like the comic book world is already doing that. Like I said with like Miles, they're giving him Jordans and making him more pop culture-ish. You know if
Yeah.
that makes sense, and that's what I plan on doing with Impound and them as well.
No, that's awesome because there's I guess there's gorillas kind of trying to attempt something sort of like
Right.
that because who did the guy who did the gorillas stuff. You know what comic book that he made?
Are you referring to the Gorillas? That is a DC comic?
No, gorillas the artist or whatever, the band, quote unquote.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not I'm not familiar.
Well, the art style is from a guy. He made the Tank Girl comic book from back in
okay.
like the 90s or whatever. That
Right.
just a tidbit. So it's like he kind of ended up going the same route. I would say that they're more like alternative or rock or whatever. Nobody's done
Right.
something like that for rap. So
Right.
bravo, sir.
Right.
Bravo.
Yeah, Miles is the closest, and that's still relatively very very new. So I think he opened up without even realizing it, kind of opened up a door to break the whole the whole stereotype that I've lived with. It's like, all right, I listen to rap, and they're like, oh, but you're a nerd though. You like comics and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean. But it's like now that side seeing it, and they're like, this is actually really dope though.
No, for sure. Yeah.
It's not just nerdiness that we've thought that's a stereotype. It's like I feel like I'm, you know what I mean? It's like I almost feel like I'm like this bridge between the two people that I am, which is a hip hop head and a really in love with fictional nerdy things that I have posters and you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I remember when I was growing up, like, it definitely was not a cool thing. Like,
Right.
when I was growing up, for sure, it was like, oh, those guys sit over in the corner and talk about Mortal Kombat and Spawn and stuff. What a bunch of losers.
And it's like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was one class party. Now, I'll give you, this is pretty dorky, but, like, they were like, oh, bring your own music from home and we'll pick something to listen to. I just brought my Weird Al collection, and everybody was like, ew, gross, what a fucking loser. But look at Weird Al now. He's a national treasure. Like,
Right.
nobody hates on Weird Al anymore.
Right. It was just a big stereotype of the 90s and the early 2000s that was very segregated too. You know what I mean? And I think the world as a whole is evolving to be open to more things.
God, I hope so.
And people who like other things aren't afraid to say it anymore as much as they used to be. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, I think it's cool.
I do too. And as much as I don't understand like bronies or furries or these sorts of things, it's like, you know what, man? Just if you're not hurting anybody, go for it, dude.
Right,
just get
thing,
out
man.
there and do whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, do your thing, man. Just have fun with it.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
don't
it's
just
like It's like I didn't realize for years that me and my dad were the only people in the family who liked Star Wars. I thought like,
Oh, really?
everyone liked. Yeah, I thought everyone liked this shit. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? This is this is incredible.
For sure.
And I'm first day to all Star Wars, Marvel. I want to see it at 7 p.m. on Thursday. You
Oh,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I don't, because if I get a spoiler, I'm gonna be pissed off. You know.
God, aren't those the worst? Yeah. I can't
Yeah.
remember the last movie I did like a day before viewing of, but I'm sure
Man,
it was a superhero movie.
Yeah, for sure. Those are the only movies I go to the theater for. Any other time I go to
Yeah.
the theater, it's like a spontaneous, random thing, maybe like just hanging out with someone. But like, those are the only ones that's like I got that on my calendar.
For sure. And speaking of theaters, are you guys still like all locked down from all of us?
We're in Los Angeles, man. So this is the highest COVID population in the world right now. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can only. I mean, it's honestly not that bad as quarantine goes. All the restaurants, all the barbershops, they all just set up outside somewhere.
Oh, really? Okay.
But
That's a good idea. I
yeah,
guess.
so yeah, that made it a California law. That's the only way you can operate. If you're a restaurant, if you have outside seating, you can do it. So then everyone just started fencing off stuff and making outside seating. So
Huh.
but I guess that's why it's still high because everyone's
Well,
just
yeah.
still around each other. You know?
Yeah, and with Texas, it never stopped. Like we never, like I don't think anybody ever quarantined the entire time. Like people were just going out
outside.
doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. Oh,
Yeah.
it
And
could
then
be.
they opened up the beach. They opened up the beach
Oh,
too, and
yeah.
it was
Well,
just like, oh yeah, yeah, that's where everyone wanted to go anyways.
God. And I love it when people are like, "Well, I did my own research, and I just don't think it's that big." Oh, cool. Where'd you get these papers and documents from? Like, what the hell are you talking about? You did your own research.
Did your own thing, and now you're doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And endangering everybody else.
I mean, I
And
guess.
it's like I'm not a saint about
Me
it. I
neither.
can't act like
Me
I've
neither.
been fully quarantined. I was in the beginning, but eventually it's just like, man, people just can't just be inside for
Yeah.
months on end, bro. It's just we just don't operate like that. You know what I mean? But I haven't went to anything too big, but I could definitely say I've been with my friends at. You saw me on the river. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I was on the lake, but we didn't tie up with any other boats, so we felt like we were doing the world like justice because we didn't tie up.
Yeah.
It was like, man,
I started this podcast during this quarantine, so I have had people in and out like on a pretty regular basis. So yeah, I haven't been the
It is
best
what it
either.
is.
So
I'm in the studio, man. I have different artists coming in. You try to keep it to a minimum amount of people, but work has to continue.
yeah, for sure. I gotta pay mortgage and shit.
Right, man. Say your prayers and just hope for the best.
Yeah, really. Man,
So,
I'm just wondering how, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I used to work in retail, and Christmas at the place I worked started in July and went through like November. So I'm thinking about Christmas just because it's so ingrained into me. I'm already like there. Oh my God, I just lost my train of thought.
it's all good.
Man, maybe I shouldn't schmirk before I do this. Maybe that would be a good idea. Oh, okay.
All good, man.
I remember. Okay, so the cold times are coming. The regular flu is going to come up. They're saying, and COVID. Oh, can't speak its name. Whoops. They're going to be running side by side, and so I'm thinking they're probably going to try to shut stuff down again. How ape shit are people gonna go if you fuck with their Christmas? Oh my God, they're gonna go bananas.
Man, Christmas, New Year's Eve, Halloween, just
All
inside
of it.
like that. That's almost unimaginable. You know what I mean?
It is.
Like,
It's holiday season for real.
and I'm not gonna lie. People are just gonna do it. They're not.
No,
gonna
yeah,
care,
true.
You know what I mean? Like 4th of July. I don't know if you've seen. Did you see the footage of 4th of July that they did in Southern California?
No, I did not.
They did an aerial shot, right? because of I don't know what the quarantine how it affected it, but people aren't working as much, so more illegal. I don't know how it is in Texas, but firecrackers, anything that lifts off the ground in California is illegal.
Oh,
As
everywhere?
far as like, yeah, the entire
Well,
state.
yeah, I
So
guess that makes sense. It does tend to catch on fire on the regular.
yeah, stuff catches on fire. But because of the quarantine, because of like less staff working the border, I don't know what happened, but more illegal fireworks came into California this year than ever
Of
before.
course they
And
did.
right, and they did an aerial shot, and you just see bombs exploding in every inch of the sky in Los
Oh,
Angeles. Like it's
wow.
just like, like it was crazy, but it was like everyone was in for so long. When the holiday came, everyone just like, we're not staying inside, and
Yeah.
now we amplified what we would have did. Like our safety isn't even in you know what I mean? Like
No,
we
sure.
have no regard for what we're supposed to be doing that's legal. Everyone is just out here just damn near going ape shit.
Yeah.
And it's like Halloween is scary already as it is. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? So it's like I'm kind of worried about that. How people are going to respond if they try to take that away.
I don't know, yeah. Like this year, like I keep thinking, oh, if we can just get through this year, but then what? Like it's not like
No,
time is any like the as soon as the date changes, the
right,
universe will just respect it and go, no, yeah, you
right.
guys have
No,
had
it's all
enough.
good.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't even know what the dates are anymore. I used to know what the days were that quarantines were supposed to be lifted, and now it's just like I have no idea.
yeah. I mean,
You're just living and whatever. It's supposed to be a 2 week thing, and now we're what 6 months in.
yeah. Good lord, when I don't even remember. March, I guess, was when it started. It was
March
right
15th.
before spring break.
Yeah. March 15th was the day it started because only reason why I remember is because it's one of my friend's birthday, and we had this party booked, and that was also the day the world shut down. They said no more parties, no more any. Well,
Oh
at least in
no.
California, I always forget every state was different on their shutdown, but that was the day we were supposed to shut down. We're like, we are not canceling this fucking party.
Yeah, and you were right. It will be 6 months this month. Six
Man,
months.
it's insane, man.
Uh, and I get so sick of hearing about it, but I keep talking about it with everyone.
Right, right.
I'm a part of the problem. Oh boy.
It's like, how do you not?
Yeah. Ugh. Okay, so I forgot I didn't ask you about any of the villains
Right.
in the comic book. I love who's the guy with the gold cross in his chest and the swords?
That's Saraf.
Okay. What's that guy's deal? Is that a
Um,
secret as well?
no, not so much. If you want me to be brutally honest, I have no idea what his backstory is. I don't even know who that guy is. That dude, that dude. I mean, it was supposed to be a part of the comic that he's just a complete mystery. No one's ever gonna know
Oh,
who he
okay.
really is.
All right.
So, like, Christ Jones, who is doesn't know who he is really. You know what I mean? So that was the whole thing of his character. He has turned into before the comic book has even came out. He's turned into the most popular character in the entire thing, and now I have to think about it more. You know what I mean? Because it was just people just think he's so cool looking that they just it wasn't planned. You know what I
That's a
mean?
good thing to have in your back pocket, though, man. If people are
Right,
really
right,
curious
right.
about it, just lead it on and
Right.
lead it on, and then whenever
Yeah.
you're ready, they'll be waiting
Right, you
for
know
it.
what I mean? Right, you know what I mean? So I'm already been thinking of what his full. I know he took a journey like Batman. I know that. I've always
Okay.
known that. Where it's kind of like a dark ninja, path. But I haven't put any more thought into it than that. I didn't realize I was gonna have to yet when I created the character. He was actually the last character that I created, and yeah, he wasn't even in it originally. You know what I mean? But he's Christ Jones, the general. He's the hitman. He's who he sends after people when he really wants something done. Um, his name's Saraf. Christ Jones, and it's I can't go too in depth. I will. but he had a time in his life where he did die and kind of return, and that's where he got the idea of
Ah.
thinking of himself as Christ himself. Um, and Seraph is the name of one of the most popular angels,
Oh,
so
okay.
that's why he's named that as being under Christ Jones. You know what I mean? And that's why he has the representation also of Christ himself. They're all pretty much in a false prophet, type
I
of
love that kind of stuff, man. Have you
yeah.
ever read Preacher or seen the show Preacher?
I've seen pieces of it, but I'm not like super familiar with it. I can't say.
I mean, I honestly never read the comic book. I was aware of it growing up, but the show was so good. But I just love,
Yeah.
the heaven and hell struggle is just so cool, like peppered into
Right.
anything. Like Spawn,
Right.
one of my favorite comic books,
Oh
of
yeah.
course.
No, Spawn. Spawn is
Amazing.
almost. Spawn is one of the inspirations of Impound, like the green eye thing. That I
I
definitely
see
got
that
that
now.
from it.
Okay, very cool.
And for me, as a like, not like trying to pull a race card, but Spawn was the first like black superhero I remember. You know
No,
what I
yeah,
mean?
I
So
mean, me
Spawn,
too, really, for sure.
yeah. So Spawn was always like one of my favorites. Just for that, because I just thought that was super cool.
Yeah.
Um, but what's crazy though is mine doesn't dabble too much into hell,
Okay.
other than the false prophet, like like they're evil. But it does do cross religions. So I don't know if you've seen. I think I posted who's the detective, and her name is Carol Mosley. I was gonna start posting about her more. But
The
she's
with the
she's
blue
Muslim.
glasses or whatever.
That's Truth. So Truth is a villain.
Oh,
Truth is
okay.
Christ Jones's girlfriend. She's kind of like the Harley Quinn of I would say, of the world. But Detective Mosley, I only posted her once. She's probably halfway down the page now. Um, but I'm gonna post her tomorrow again. But she's Muslim. You know what I mean? So it's
Okay.
not necessarily the struggle of heaven and hell. It's more of Christianity to Islamic. A big part of who I am, my brother is Muslim. I'm a Christian, so we do a lot of family. We have, certain holidays, certain things. We have to sacrifice our own religious ideas for the other side of the family.
Right.
And we make it work. Like no one complains. It's this is how we're gonna eat. They're not gonna eat bacon today. We're gonna respect their wishes, and vice versa. With what they can respect, and so there's gonna be that conflict in this world of Christ thinking he is Christ and thinking and looking at her as Muslim, but she's actually the hero, which kind of breaks the stereotype of Muslims are all evil in America. And
God, yeah,
and
I'm so sick
that
of that.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so it was almost like I'm not going against my own beliefs, obviously, but I kind of got tired of only Christians being right and Muslims are evil. You know what I mean? So that's not the most massive part of the story, but that is in there.
Yeah.
That's he will reference that.
It's
Let's
definitely
get along.
something this country in particular needs because good God, we just never
Right,
that's after,
right.
nine
The
11.
first
It's just
beliefs
we
were never
never
the
let
right
it go,
ones.
man.
Never let it go. And then everything else goes back to it one way or another,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you her backstory at least is she's from New York, and she was like 13 years old when 9/11 happened, and her family was constantly going through discrimination. She's Indian. She's not even from Afghanistan, and still,
Ah.
just because we see things in black and white, they're the ones that did it, and her family gets harassed by law enforcement, and her trying to protect her mom, the cop pistol whips her. And when you see her, she has a scar on her cheek, and that was like what made her grow up to be how a cop's supposed to be. Because this cop wouldn't protect us because of what we believe. You know what I mean? So that's something that I'm gonna push as well. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Another needed message.
Yeah,
For
you know,
sure.
I'm trying to break a lot of stereotypes in this comic as well, you know, without like doing it in a way that was like forcing it on people, you know what I mean? But like subtle things, you
Right.
know,
It's there. It's there.
it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when do you think you are going to start rolling out the old? Oh, I saw your Kickstarter got funded already.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Very,
First
very
day, you
cool.
know what I mean? So now it's just
Congratulations.
in coast mode, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and, but, I'm trying to find new ways to keep it going and get it bigger, you know? But it's the first Kickstarter I ever did, never had any following on it. So, you know, just being funded was good enough for
Yeah,
me.
that's very
Um,
cool. I imagine that feels
I
real
would have,
good.
I would have, I would have loved the first Kickstarter that does $300,000. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
But yeah, to keep things in a realistic, you know, what I mean, realistic goals. But yeah,
What's your timeline looking like as far as rolling stuff out?
I don't have a hard one. No, like that sounded really weird saying that, but I'm about 8 pages away from the first issue being completely done. Um, Estimate like by the end of September it'll be fully done. Like edited and you know all that good stuff. I'm aiming for like late November, early December to actually uh, start shipping and you know, dropping it online and things like that.
Very cool, man. That'll be a nice Christmas present.
Right, right. And it's like the game is also done now too. So I've been deciding if I was going to do that first or second. I'm probably going to do it second though.
Right on. Yeah, let me look at these screenshots again real quick. Is it like a beat 'em up style game?
It's a wave like a you played Black Ops before Call of Duty?
Yeah.
The zombie mode where they
Oh,
just
okay.
every wave is more, and then like every like 5 rounds is a boss type of thing. That's what it's like. So he's just in the street, in the street, and they'll just keep coming, getting power ups, getting things to make them stronger, and you just last as long as you possibly can last.
That's cool, man.
You'll go through all the villains, so like it'll just pretty much be minions, and then Seraph will show up, then you know Christ Jones will show up, you know, as like bosses that you're fighting one at a time.
Right.
Truth's not in this game. I didn't put Truth in this one. I put a character in this one that's not even going to be in the comics for tons of issues, but he would be like the dark side of the Thanos of my world.
Oh, okay.
But other than this game, you're not gonna see him in the comics for a long time.
Oh, yeah, I think I see the guy you're talking about. That he's in one of the screenshots. It looks like.
Yeah, it's like in gold armor.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Well,
The
very
only
nice.
thing that I will tell you about that is his armor and Christ Jones' body is the same metal.
Huh. Christ Jones. Oh, okay. Now I'm seeing the picture of Christ Jones with the gold
Hmm.
arm and the. Okay.
Yeah,
A little weaving a little intrigue here.
yeah, yeah. I'm seriously thinking about after the first issue of Impound, I might instead of just doing the second issue, I might do issue one of his name is Decimos, the alien, and do him in outer space, and up until when it comes up till where they're all gonna meet at some point.
Okay. So you'll have like uh issues following individual characters and then they all kind of converge in an issue.
I won't do any other. He's the only other character I would probably give a story like that.
Oh, okay.
Impound in him. Anybody else like Seraph, I'm gonna probably do a backstory when I have that all figured out, just because people became so interested in him, and then I might do a backstory for Christ Jones too. But for the most part, my focus is only gonna really be Impound, and like I said, it might be Decimus like out so super far away that has nothing to do with these guys for the
Gotcha.
moment.
That's very cool, man. Man, I mean like you're flexing those creative writing muscles for sure.
Yeah, man.
And I
I've had a
also
lot of ideas for a long time. I just couldn't get them out.
I appreciate just I don't know, man. I think that's my biggest problem is just I have no faith in myself. And you are just like,
Well,
"Nope, I'm going to do this.
nah, well,
Everybody move."
You gotta understand though, for me was I knew I was gonna do it, but definitely the first day when I made the Instagram and I was like, let's do it, let's actually do it. I was I don't know why I've never been nervous to do something, but it was just so random to the type of people I deal with on a day to day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was that fear of when you said you're in the corner because you guys are comic book lovers and everyone like it was like, are people gonna think this is dope or they're just gonna be like, you're just a fucking nerd. You know what I mean? But surprisingly, everyone was like, oh my God, like, we don't know anyone doing something like this. This is hella cool. Like it was instantly like received as like something that people believed in from the first day, and so that was cool. But the initial launch on my personal Instagram was like, oh, how are people going to, what I
I
mean,
see. Okay. Yeah.
receive this? Because my personal Instagram, they're coming now because they're learning who I am through Impound, but there were no comic book lovers following me.
I see.
It was all hip hop, rap, football, basketball. You know what I mean? Like that was I didn't have a comic book following at all. So it was like, introducing them to a side of they knew I loved Star Wars and stuff like that. I would post like stuff like that, but like to be actually doing a comic book was just like something else entirely.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. So, all right. It's nice to know that you're not just made entirely of steel and you can do anything.
Yeah.
But I love I appreciate the ingenuity as well in, going, hey, I have this story I want to tell, but I'm not going to do the art, and actually being able to, I guess, kind of recruit people. Like that's
Right.
that's really
Well,
neat.
I can't draw, I can't draw. So if I would have drew it, no one would give a damn about no Impound.
But it also it prevents you from kind of burning out and tackling the entire project all by yourself, even if you could
That's
draw.
right. That's the hardest part of anything, man. So before I did started basically being like on the label side of music, I used to do music myself. And when we're talking about my degrees and me doing music, it was like I'm writing the records, I'm finding the beats, I'm mixing the music, I'm directing my own videos, I'm editing my own videos. And after a while, I was like,
And
I
then you
can't
have to
do this.
promote.
And then I have to promote
Yeah,
myself.
that's my
I'm
least
a
favorite part.
I'm a club promoter at this time, so I'm throwing my own events, acting like someone booked me.
Oh
You know what I
man,
mean? And
that's
it was
awesome though.
exhausting. It was
Yeah.
exhausting as hell, and I gave up. I couldn't do it anymore. You know what I
Ugh.
mean? It's like, bro, I'm spread too thin, and I don't, I don't have enough
Yeah,
manpower. So
burnout is
I,
real, very
right,
real.
you know what I mean? So I found out that very early in trying to be an entrepreneur. So that's why I was like, if I have to do anything like that again, I know where that's gonna end.
Right.
And I'm still trying to find, like I said, more pieces. I want to have someone that helps me co-write. You know what I mean? Who sees, who understands the vision, and can put stories together too, while I write someone else's story. You know what I mean? And we can
Yeah.
expand it better.
Hmm.
I'll tell them exactly how I want it to be, but they'll
Yeah.
actually just put it on paper. I can look over it with them, and we could be working on multiple things at a time. I mean, that's divide and conquer.
I can definitely put you in touch with some people. I know at art wise, like I know a handful of people that might be interested in contributing. So
I would love
that would be
that.
neat.
Right now, my budget isn't necessarily good
No,
enough to
I
pay a
mean,
bunch of writers, but if they're down, if they believe, I would definitely pay them something and give them percentages of sales of we can even do more than just the books they write. Um, I need dreamers, man, right now.
for sure. Yeah.
That's hard to find though, because most people are not entrepreneurs.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. I mean, I try, but I end up just burning myself out every time, and then I'll take like a year off and feel like a slug, and then
And
finally
they're
come
like,
back
man,
and
I want
try
to do
again.
something creative again.
Yeah,
Hey, that was
slither
me
away.
too. That was me too, man. It finally, something finally hit, and that gave me the motivation to say, But I worked at a news station for most of till probably about 2017.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Doing like ads and stuff like that, or like doing the live stuff.
It was all. I only dealt with live, but I was an editor at first, so I was editing the stories, and then I became like the floor director after a while. So like, pointing the anchors to the whatever camera they're looking at, where they got to stand, where they got to sit, what's the next story on breaks, you know what I mean? So
Oh, that's
actual
cool.
director. Yeah.
Man, I bet that helped a lot too, because in the film school that I went to, we had a like a live news segment or whatever, and even though nobody was watching it, just trying to flow through that flawlessly through all these segments and switching cameras and all of that was just a hectic nightmare.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you were doing that regularly, that must have built up, like a shell.
Everything that I did, like from college up until this point, I use it somehow, one way or another. So like with news, you just get the. They're very. I don't want to say practical. I guess they're very demanding of a high level of what I mean. Like, citing your sources, making sure everything looks right. It has to be done. Everything has to be done right.
Yeah.
And I took a lot of that with me. It made me move faster, because it's like you show up, you only have a couple hours to get ready for the show that will be live, and we can only do it once. So
you get one shot.
Man, there is no like stop and let's go back and do it again. It has to be right this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that made me more, I guess, doing things right the first time. And then like doing that, I was club promoting. That's how I'm so good at promoting in general. It all came full circle one way or another.
Very cool. Love to hear that. I love when things work out.
Yeah, it took a long time to try to work it out, man.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, okay, cool. You looked younger, so I was like, God, this guy's just got it all together. What is his secret?
Like, man, I thought this guy was a 21-year-old boy genius. He's worked in news for years.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
Oh man. But still, it's very awesome, and I'm very much looking for. I'm going to dig into some of that to that guy that one musician you told me about. And
oh yeah, man, I got another artist that's completely different. That's just as big as him too.
Nice, man. I'll be in touch. I'll have you siphon it to me as I get through the work.
Right.
And I will put you in touch with I have I might just dabble a little bit in one of these, and I whatever. It'll all work out. We'll get it figured out. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. As busy as
no problem. No problem at all, man. Just anytime, man. Just let me know. I thank you for letting me do this. The first interview I've done for it.
Oh, cool, man. Glad to be a part of that.
Cool.
Well, enjoy the rest of your evening, sir, and we'll be in touch for sure.
You too, man. Just let me know, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Take it easy.
All right. Have a good one.
Did it feel like I rushed him out the door? I didn't mean to. I just really have to go to the bathroom. No, not really. I didn't want to run out of conversation before we hit the hour. And look, here I am now. Just go check out his Kickstarter. Google Kickstarter Impound Origins, and it'll pull it up. I'm really excited to see this stuff. He's really got a lot of balls in the air, and in a time when I'm feeling kind of burnt out, it is really nice to watch somebody else flourish. So, what have we learned today? Don't do everything yourself. Just do it. Just go out and do it, but don't do it yourself. Orchestrate. If you want your dreams to come true, you gotta orchestrate. So go forth. Go forth and kick ass. Or don't, if you're not into that. That's fine. Gonna be talking to Gilbert Perez next episode. One of the artists that I want to get in touch with him. So, what a coincidence. What a coincidence. There are no coincidences. I think I've rambled enough. Don't you think? Thank you for watching. Bye.